Earth memes. Flat Earth memes. Flat Earth memes. Flat Earth memes. Flat Earth memes of the week.
Welcome back to another episode of Flat Earth Memes of the Week. This week's episode is brought to you by our failing education systems from all around the globe and Texas Instruments with their new and improved calculator made specifically for YouTube University. It looks and feels just like the ones your poor, depressed, underpaid high school teachers handed out. Only this version doesn't do math, because math is lies from the devil. This version is specifically used to make silly words like boobies. And that's not all it can do. You can also use it to type up your research papers, and if you have any questions, just ask Riley. He's an expert. This week, we're featuring a new format. I guess the evil corporate lying overlords from upstairs thought it was best to make the show more streamlined, and with the ever-growing popularity of blood sports, both in the Middle East and on pay-per-view, we're gonna pit several different memes that try to make the same point against each other, Roman gladiator style, and you as an audience get to decide which meme survives and which memes die a bloody, glober, pathetic, lying, NASA shill death. Pay-per-view is not broadcast on satellites to your DirecTV or Dish Network receivers because satellites aren't real and the dish is fake and not really pointing to a satellite in geosynchronous orbit, and it's also giving you and your family cancer if you're vaccinated. This week, we're proving that space is fake. And you're an idiot if you think there's anything outside that beautiful glass dome that holds back the heavenly waters. So without any further delay, let's bring out our contestants. Contestant number 1. We're calling this one It's Too Big, and she is a beaut. Can't prove stellar parallax, can't prove spinning motion, can't prove molten core, can't prove water sticks to a ball, can't prove curvature of the Earth, can't prove observable satellites, can't prove the center of gravity, and can't prove globe pics from space. So what exactly can you prove? According to the NASA shills, you can calculate stellar parallax, but you've got to use math, which is lies from the devil. So there certainly won't be any of that happening around here. Spinning motion can be found by going and talking to Professor Bob over at the Globebusters building. Although we've never seen it, we can assume the core of the Earth is molten lava based on the way seismic waves move and refract as they travel through the planet. Tennis balls don't generate a whole hell of a lot of gravity. Are you curious about that pesky curve, or maybe what's behind it? Go talk to Professor Jaron over at the Globebusters building. And he's got pretty lasers. And while you're there, ask him about how satellites can be seen going in front of the moon. That's interesting. Confused about gravity? Go ask Sleeping Warrior to explain to you how his ripped-off buoyancy tube works. Oh yeah, gravity's in there. And just remember, globe pics from space can never be proven as long as you just keep saying they're fake. Boy, she is a feisty one, and she's gonna be hard to beat. There's a whole lot of stupid wrapped up into that one, but hey, let's see what the next challenger has to offer. Meme number 2. We're calling this one It's Fake. Quasars, meteorites, exoplanets, and supernovas, galaxies, dark matter, solar flares, and black holes. What do all these images have in common? They're fake. Here at YouTube University, we don't ask a whole lot from you, and we certainly don't expect you to think. But please remember, when the lizard overlords over at NASA release a picture and say that it's an artist's interpretation, That's just a nice way of showing us what things probably look like. It's not expected to be taken literally, like you do with the Bible, and they certainly don't prove that those things are fake. Not to mention, if you take a stick with a magnet out at the end, out into the desert, you can find your very own meteorites, and keep them. I'm sorry, Challenger, but I don't think you have what it takes to cut the mustard. But don't fret, your fate will be decided by the studio audience at the end of the episode. So let's move on. Meme number 3. We're calling this meme Brrr. It's cold tonight. The claim that it's really hard to read, but the claim is heat doesn't travel through the vacuum of space from the sun 93 million miles. Instead, what the light hits, it heats up. Only problem with this is that means the dark side of the Earth should freeze over every night. Now, I understand we're not one of those Illuminati-run Ivy League schools that teach English and things, but please, when making memes, use complete sentences. Use all the words that convey what little thought you have to the reader. It makes it a lot easier to spread your stupidity far and wide. According to the NASA shills, the Earth's crust is warmed by the rays of the sun every day, even during winter. At night, the residual heat from that sunlight helps keep the Earth's crust a toasty somewhere above negative 60 degrees year-round. Unless, of course, you're talking about the Antarctic ice wall. But of course, just like Area 51, the UN would shoot you with their attack boats before you even got there to take the temperature. I'm sorry, Challenger, but I don't think you have what it takes to convince even the dumbest Flerf that the Earth is flat. But don't fret, like I said before, your fate will be determined by the studio audience at the end of the episode. Which is coming up now, so let's go! Alright, let's bring them out. Studio audience, it's up to you to determine which meme lives and which memes get cut down like Johnny Cash in Gladiator. And we have it! Man, that was fast. Our panel of judges, picked randomly from the studio audience, has deliberated for about 15 seconds and decided which memes go home defeated and which meme will stand victorious as the Meme of the Week! Let's find out what they decided. Oh, look at this. What a surprise! The winner is... Brrr! It's cold tonight! This meme came from the back of the pack and was created with the absolute least effort possible and still brought us all a Cinderella story for the history books that we can all be proud of. Well done. Well done. What's this? It looks like the panel of judges wrote us a note. It says, We don't care if it ain't wrote good. We don't read good, neither. Globetard. Yep. Join us next week for another edition of Memes of the Week!